Right, so tonight's gig, I am back here at Prism Kingston covering for my good friend Sam, who is on holiday once again. Really pleased to be back here, love playing this venue. And tonight I am introducing to you my good friend Nadim here.
How are we?
So Nadim here warms up the main room, does his own nights here as well. So how did you get into it really?
So, DJing in general?
Yeah, DJing in general.
So I don't drink.
At all?
Never have. Yeah,
Wow.
completely sober. Biggest loser ever.
No, it's cool. Healthy lifestyles.
Somewhat. So uni, I was going to pre-drink events, trying to join in the stuff with Lemonade, which isn't as fun as you think. So to keep my music bug alive while I was at uni, because I was in bands and stuff back home.
What kind of music?
I was a drummer. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
doing indie and
So you
stuff
got
like
rhythm,
this.
right?
Somewhat. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. And then, so I started DJing to keep that alive. And bedroom turned into pre-drink events. Pre-drink events turned into uni events, turned into clubs after uni, and here we are.
So you were the guy that everyone knew to go to book for their house party and their
Kind
pre-drinks,
of.
right?
I wasn't really advertising myself as that, to be honest, because I was an athlete at uni, so that was my main thing. I was just doing it for fun.
Yeah, and what was your starting setup like? What was your bedroom setup like when your
Oh
first
my
set?
god! I think I bought like an £80 what's it called, Newmark? Whatever, some shit.
But everyone starts small, right? You've got to start small.
To be honest, for me, I didn't see a difference, and I still don't see a difference between that and the 3000s or 2000s that we're using today. I mean, okay, there's more buttons to push and whatever, and a hell of a lot more features you can use to exploit, but at the end of the day, it's about understanding people and, entertaining them.
And this is the thing, right? I think a lot of people get caught up. They think, I've got a mix on 3 decks, I've got a mix on 4 decks. I need to have 4 3000s.
I mean, it depends what your product is. If you want to be the guy who's known for scratching, you probably should get some But I've never.
But when you're playing the commercial clubs that we play,
it makes no difference. I mean, I've seen DJs DJing off the £200 Pioneer controller.
Yeah. So as you can see, the lighting is absolutely terrible. So.
We'll work with what we've got.
Going from then the parties to the clubs, then.
Yes.
If you how did you make that transition?
I'll be honest with you. I befriended a bouncer at my local club. I was doing it as a hobby at this point, and I just got talking to him. I actually went out of my way every day, every few days for 3 weeks, just to say hello to him. It was 2 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
And got talking to him, and on the 3rd week, I remember saying to him, how? Then this is the golden question: how do they source their DJs here? Not can I DJ? Can I? How do they source it? Just real simple. And he was kind enough to say, I'll get the manager for you. And the manager then gave me the number of the agent.
Oh, it's through agency.
Yeah, well, it was through an agent. It was an agency.
Yeah,
it was an agent. And I booked a trial with him. I went to the wrong venue to start with, because he wasn't clear on where he was going, so I thought it was the original venue. It was a different one, he didn't specify. Went there, song selection smashed, everything else, I transitioned fine, but my gain matching,
the levels and stuff.
All over the gaff, because I never DJed in a full club before. A week later, he said, go away, practice, and then came back, smashed the next week, and then he gave me a date. Then I did, from there I did maybe, I don't know, over the course of 4 months, 5 months, did pretty well there. Then went around central London and did the same thing. Yeah. Just asked every club who sources that, and then got into there, and agency picked me up, and then I
always say to people, it's all about networking. And speaking to people, getting out there, so people know who you are.
Yeah, very much.
Would you say that that's helped you massively with your journey?
There's almost no way in this industry, no matter what side you're trying to come in from, DJing, production, songwriter, commercial DJ, artist DJ, if people don't know who you are and don't think you're a good, nice person, and a sound person to chill with, you have got no chance. The first question is, why and where do you want to DJ?
Yeah.
You can start with the end, and then think, how do I get there? My most valuable times were when I was the commercial DJ, because being forced to play reggaeton, R&B, hip hop, grime, drum and bass, your UK commercial, your US commercial, understanding what people want if you don't have that ability,
and reading that crowd,
that's DJing.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to play a headline slot. You come in with the biggest bangers and whatever else, and you know, but understanding people to warm up, understanding people to keep people in the bar, to keep them in the bar dancing or paying for drinks, all of these things, they're massively different.
Yeah,
And understanding, I mean, I feel so fortunate to have DJed every weekend for 2-3 years in the central London, because I mean, you've got everyone there, you know what it's like, you know? And that's why we're able to kind of do now and have a really, you know, I think.
And would you say as well, like, you learn quite a lot doing the warm-up sets, doing the early slots?
I think my learning came from central London. The biggest thing the warm-up sets have taught me in a venue like this is how to use the mic.
Yeah.
When to use, when not to use.
Yeah.
Because again, easy to go like, you know, and hype everyone up. But when is the time? When is the time to go inject energy now? When is the time to back off? Who are you warming up for? What sort of music is it?
Yeah.
All of this stuff. I think it just makes you think twice about what you're doing, because when you start, you're like, yeah, I can do that, no worries. And yeah, you can. But if you're there going, yeah, I know everything, you're not going to develop. And I can easily say, in the last 6-7 months of doing it here, I've improved massively as a DJ, because I've had to rethink what I thought I knew.
And then also as well, you're massively into the production side of things as well.
Yeah.
Was that always the case, or was it a case of DJ first, then producing afterwards?
Well, it was production, then DJing and production. So
Okay.
I used to produce and songwrite when I was like 15, 14.
Yeah,
sort of
just for
thing.
fun kind of thing?
Fun, yeah. I mean, my family's always been musical sort of thing.
Yeah.
But now, then I was DJing, and then I started supporting some bigger acts who are being paid like 20x of what we get. I'm thinking, okay, what's the difference? I'm like, they've got records. I'm like, well, maybe I should get back into it again. So that's kind of what inspired me to do it again. And there's a secret part of me in there that loves it. So, but now, yeah, doing the sort of like commercial dance house sort of stuff. It's great, but just got to keep hustling with it.
And would you say that like it's improved you as a DJ as well in terms of like your production?
I think the DJing's improved my production.
Oh, okay.
Massively,
Yeah.
yes. Because I'm in a very rare opportunity where I can take a demo and go and test it to the end user right away,
brilliant.
You know?
End to end.
End to end. I can be sat in a production in a studio with a decently well-known producer, for instance, or artist, and the only experience they've got is being the headline act. And when no one knows you, they're not there for you, they're there for the music. So you can really see if the music's working or not. You can go, actually, maybe we should go like this, like that used to work, maybe we should go to this. And I mean, I'm still sat here as a nobody, but you know, maybe one day this words will come to fruition. But
subscribers, like, follow all of his socials and then reach out, and then so and then really just to finish off, like, okay, so if you're giving a bit of advice to a new DJ or someone that wants to get into production, or both, what would it be?
Okay,
let's start with DJing.
With DJing. I think for both of them, the first question is, why are you doing it? Where do you want to be?
Yeah.
The best thing for me that happened in 2020 was it gave me time.
Yeah.
And like everyone else, but I went from the end backwards. What is my end goal? It took me 2 years to actually define, like, put it in a sentence. If you can write it in a sentence what the goal is, it will change. It will change from time to time. But if you can go from the end goal and try and work backwards to where you are today, you'll kind of have an outline of where you need to go.
Yeah.
If you're just starting out, you don't really know, you kind of want to be in DJ and whatever else, take a gig anywhere you can, and do the best you can to serve them.
And also yourself. See if you enjoy it, right?
See if you enjoy, of course. I mean, number one, you have to enjoy. You know, if you're trying to do this because you think it's going to be a quick way to get famous or whatever, it's not the right thing. But if you can do it, and you can, it's demanding. You have got to put the time and effort in, and it is draining. The networking, the hours. I mean, I love my sleep, and look at what the hours we work. Do you know what I mean? So I would say.
And that's the thing. I don't think people understand like the travel time. Obviously, you're working anti-social hours. Yeah. You miss social events. Yeah. All of that. It all takes its toll, and especially if you're driving quite a long way to venues and stuff as well.
I mean, I still don't drive, but I get the train everywhere, which is fine for me. I mean, you end up getting a hotel and whatever. But because of my background in sport, having done that before, I'm used to that. But for some people, traveling and getting a hotel overnight is exhausting. I mean, it is exhausting. It costs money. It's, sometimes you don't know where you're going to be. You think you're going to be one venue half an hour till you start. You've got to go to another one. Sometimes it's in a different country. Yeah. So you got to be adaptable and whatever else. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to also know your moderation. Just keep your rest right as well. You don't want to overdo it because I'm guilty of that as well.
And then for any budding producers out there,
yes,
what would you say to them?
Have fun.
Just have fun.
Make as much as you can and put it out on TikTok, on SoundCloud, whatever. Don't put it on Spotify unless you own everything. Don't want to have any lawsuits coming at you and whatever else, because trust me, they're not fun. Yeah, put it on SoundCloud, put it on TikTok and whatever. Just keep putting stuff out and don't wait too long. Accept that you're going to develop along the journey, and the stuff you put out today is going to be nothing compared to the stuff you put out later. But while you're getting better, you may as well be getting some sort of recognition for it.
Yeah, 100%.
So
and would you say like to start off with like bootlegs and mashups and stuff like that while they're getting used to
Depends
software?
what you're trying to do. Yeah, bootlegs, mashups, great. I mean, like if you're not a writer, absolutely take your favorite track and recreate it.
Yeah.
Copy people, and then from there you'll make 100 tracks where you copy people. You'll make 100 more where you're slightly different. After 200 tracks, you'll start to have a sound, and everything will go from there.
Brilliant. Yeah, and then tell us about the single, the latest one.
Latest one. So we've just had One More Time with Abby Flynn, who did "Don't You Think Like That," the Navos track. That just went out. That's just shy of 1 million streams right now, so that's quite nice in a few weeks. The latest one was last week with a good friend of mine called Lisa, called Personal. It's doing all right for the first week, and then I will hopefully have another one soon called High.
Wow. So you're like smashing out the music at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but this is what I mean. It was 2020 and 2021. It was just, you know, I should have put out so much more, but I changed my ways. I put out a work remix as well. I must have put out like 6 tracks in the space of 3 months now, which is good.
Yeah, so check out Nadim on SoundCloud, Spotify, link down in the description down below. Conscious of time, we've got to set up for our gigs, so I'm going to leave it there. So thank you, mate, for being on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
And look, it's quite good to do these things. I want to bring more DJs onto the channel.
Anytime.
So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the button over there somewhere. A video link to my last video is up the top there. I always like put it up the top.
Somewhere up here.
If you haven't yet, so and we will see you. Well, he won't.
I'll see you again.
No, and I will see you in the next video. There we go.